Hey y'all, it's Molly with Mini Acres, and this is going to be my last garden tour of December. And hopefully this time we will not lose any footage. So, let's look at the good and the bad. All of the milkweed plants have died. And I never did update y'all on the chrysalis. That butterfly had died, so I never messed with it. Some of the chickens escaped and found my little herb bed here, and they just went to town. But we still have some survivors. There's some new mint growth. The marshmallow plant even has new leaves. The lemongrass looks completely dead. I think I should have dug it up and brought it inside, but hindsight's 20/20 and all that. The orange mint has some new growth. Lemon balm is completely dead. I don't know if that's going to come back or not. And the pineapple sage, again, I probably should have brought it inside. In the greenhouse, we have a decent looking lemon tree, a very dead looking houseplant, a happy enough spider plant, pretty happy fern, another lemon tree that seems to have perked up actually since I potted him and cut him back and brought him in here where I had seen some yellowing leaves. He's pretty green now. There's some new growth on this pepper plant and my little fig tree. And these little pepper plants look like they're gonna make it. This is the Cassia Bush that I dug up and chopped it back, and I cut some branches off of it. I'm trying to get them to root in water inside. Still haven't seen anything yet, but you know, if it doesn't work, it was worth trying anyway. But I think this plant is gonna survive being in this spot inside this greenhouse for the winter. So that makes me happy. A little baby mulberry that seems to be all right. And then a couple more, I'm not sure how they're doing. I brought in this Malabar spinach. Does not look like it's too happy. And there's a coffee mug I've been missing. And I don't know if that's growth on my pomegranate or if that's just something that was already in the soil. What else? I don't remember if I showed you guys this pecan that was growing from the very bottom of a 5-gallon bucket of pecans that we got from my mother-in-law's yard. Some of these peppers are looking sad. And of all the things, can you see? Hold still. Look at that. The stevia is blooming. Wow. All right, let's walk into this sorely neglected garden area. Everything's covered. So this is encouraging. It's encouraging in me to be more neglectful of my garden because I just abandoned this little radish patch that I had started too early. It was like in September, and then it wound up just being ridiculously hot through the end of October. And look, I have radishes. So even though they got all leggy and crazy, look, they were bulbing up. So I don't know what my encouraging message for you is, except that, you know, just let it go wild and you actually might still manage to get some food. All right, I see some lettuce over there looking pretty good. And then little peas, they're growing. Nasturtiums, little baby nasturtiums coming up. Some dino kale, that has grown a lot since I was out here the other day. I transplanted tiny lettuces that were looking good from my little failed mini greenhouse project. And they're looking like they've doubled in size since I planted them. So mustards that I really should harvest. More nasturtiums. Some chard has popped up. Man, that is a, look at that. That is a huge mustard. It might be bitter at this point, but At least they're growing. Focus. This lettuce is trying to go to seed. I see more chard and baby cabbages that are coming up. And the cabbages that were in here that I transplanted, they're putting on new growth. So maybe they'll still make a head. We'll see. Here's another example of the crazy weather in Florida. It gets really cold and then it gets really warm, and these blueberries are trying to bud. The asparagus is dying back, and I can't remember if I'm just supposed to leave it for now and then cut it back before I move it in the spring, or if I should cut it back now. I'm really not sure what I'm going to do. And these roselle are not dry. I don't know if the seeds in them are good or not, but I'm still going to try to harvest them. And then you see this garlic coming up. This is all stuff that was left over from when I harvested garlic. I'm amazed at what seemed to have been left behind. These were just, from what I can tell, they were just the corms that were left behind, and they have grown really, really big. So that's cool. I didn't do anything else to this bed, but this oregano is still growing just fine. I'm just gonna leave it and just see what comes up in the spring, I guess. This area is really exciting because I have neglected it completely, and it's been really cold, and then it's been warm and rainy, and I just hadn't pulled back the row cover to see what was going on under here. There's actually a few little carrots coming up, and then all kinds of lettuces and radishes, and what else? I don't even know what's in here. All my labels got messed up. Who knows at this point? What is this little guy? What are you? Look at these little kohlrabi babies. What is that? Rutabaga. What's under here? Little cabbages. Looks like I should cut some lettuce today so that it'll encourage the lettuce to keep making more. And then here's the garlic that I bought from the grocery store and planted. That's a honkin' arugula. He's just taken over his little spot. And you can see I still haven't finished this bed or this whole area. I just haven't had as much time lately or motivation on the days that it's been really cold. But the cardboard and the leaves and all are keeping everything in place, so at the least I'm not growing any weeds right now. And this bed looks like it could use another layer of leaves. What's on there seems to have settled with all the rain, and I see some weeds poking through. So I need to clean this up a little bit more and then put some more leaves or hay or mulch or something on top of it. And the last thing I want to show you, I think it's the last thing I want to show you, is my porch plants that I've just been keeping covered on the cold nights, keeping them bundled together and covered. The ferns look happy, and then this little tree, let's see. So he's got some new growth on the bottom, and it looks pretty healthy. This guy seems to have had some frost damage, but I see some new growth in there, so maybe he'll pull through. Maybe I should bring him inside, but we all know I probably won't. But these are my porch plants, and I don't know if I mentioned, these are cheap terracotta pots that I used putty, like you used to fill holes in drywall, to age them, and that was years ago, and since then they've actually aged a little more naturally. That was a really cheap way to get a really cool, fancy looking pot, like the little ones that I did in my window in the house. You can probably hear this dog. Do you need some attention? Sweet pea, can you tell our friends, see ya next year? I'll see y'all later. Bye.